let's talk about Tanner McLachlan really quickly. Let's make this a little quicker. Tanner McLachlan, Bengals drafted him with the 194th overall pick. This is a guy that I personally could see the vision with. I think that you could really see some upside there. And, you look at it, he's a willing blocker. He's a guy that pretty much does everything that's asked of him. He showed some real upside at the college level. Was very productive at Arizona.
Yep.
And, if you're looking for a guy, like, again, these tight ends, a lot of the tight ends, when people talk about some of the premier tight ends in National Football League, they get drafted a little bit later. Now, obviously, this is really late in the 6th round, but I still think Tanner McLachlan can be productive. He is coming in as an older, rookie, if you will.
Yeah.
But I still think that this is a guy that has a lot of upside, and especially learning from a guy like Mike Gesicki to get more in and out of his breaks as a route runner. I think that's something that could be very, very beneficial for him. But I'm really, really excited about the pick. Obviously, there were some interior offensive line the Bengals could have went with, but they did not. They chose to go with Tanner McLachlan. So I believe that they really see something with him. And I do wonder, will Tanner McLachlan push Tanner Hudson out of the depth chart, if you will. Danny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, make this short. He's giving you prototypical size. I mean, 6'5".
Love it.
And when I want a tight end, I want a couple things. First off, you got to have great hands. He has very sure hands.
0 drops.
Yep, zero. Just him and Jermaine Burton. That's not 2 prospects who drafted who did not drop the ball last year.
And in round 6, that's what I want to cover my ass with. Yep. I want a dude who can just have great hands. And he's solid after the catch, and he was extremely productive at college. So for me, you're giving me a guy, yes, he's 25 years old. Maybe he doesn't have that extra ceiling into, being a top 20 tight end, top 10 tight end. With Joe Burrow and this offense, you don't need that.
Nope.
You don't. We saw what Tanner Hudson did, and Tanner Hudson is okay. He's average. And if you're giving me Tanner McLachlan, I think he gives you the upside of, hey, he's giving you the size, and I think he's a plug and play. If you play him right now, I think he'll give you solid reps as a tight end. He can play the slot. I'm confident. I think Tanner McLachlan, I think we'll see him get some run this year.
Yeah, I think, the only downside here is the age to me. Yep. He's one of my favorite tight end prospects, but he's old. He's 25 years old, which, again, that for a rookie, that's kind of crazy.
Capital old.
Yeah, that is
if
old.
I'm 28, what are you saying?
Well, you're not in the NFL.
You're not a rookie.
You're not a rookie. You're a seasoned vet.
Sure.
But with McLachlan, it's just more so, again, another former wide receiver. And I think sometimes that scares people. Sometimes it's, whatever. He's 6'5".
It's a great thing.
Yeah. And just like Newton, you can use those things to your advantage. And he's better at running routes. He's better at the catch point. And he's also 6'5" and runs a 4.6 40, one of the fastest tight ends in the draft. I truly think the age is the only thing that really held him back in the draft. He's got so many fun attributes that you look for. And, I think him learning from Mike Gesicki is truly amazing. It's a perfect comp for him too. There's just so many things to like about the fit with the, the long-term connection with Joe Burrow, from learning from Gesicki, from the way he compliments Eric All. There's just so many things to like about McLachlan.
I think, and this is going to be crazy, but for a 6th round pick, I think, knock on wood, Mike Gesicki stays healthy, obviously. If Mike Gesicki goes down, to get the production that we potentially could get out of Tanner McLachlan, I feel like most people would be extremely surprised. I think he could step in and give you what Tanner Hudson did and then some.
I know there are some Bengal fans that are really excited about the pick. I saw and appreciate you, T. Barton. He's putting a nod to my age. I appreciate you. Malik is invincible. But I saw somebody saying by the end of the season, Tanner McLachlan's going to be tight end 1. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about here, man? But Evan, what are your thoughts quickly?
No, I think they covered it, man. Gives you a little bit after the catch too. 11 forced missed tackles. The age is definitely going to be a limiting factor. It's going to be. He is more of a receiver than a blocker, much in the, like you said, the Gesicki mold previously. There's definitely, he's got like good size, but the arm length is still really small, just 31.5-inch arms.
Yes.
Really small for a guy his size. But I don't see that necessarily limiting his role. Like you said, good hands, more of that receiving tight end, definitely fits well with this offense and still has that blocking upside. If you put him on the move to help compensate for the lack of length, the lack of power and blocking, it can help him sustain those a little bit better. But that's, like you said, not that he's not willing as a blocker. So that's something that I like about him. Like you said, older prospect, all definitely has more upside. You feel like McLachlan is more of that safer floor. You know what you're getting out of him. Again, nothing wrong with the players. I just wish it would have been, one or the other. I understand of taking again, and if this was your plan to double dip on tight ends, then you can do without Tanner Hudson. Again, you don't need to go pay $1 million to Tanner Hudson that you might not see anymore because you decided to double dip. Right. You decided to double dip at tight end. And I don't think anyone was going to steal 30-year-old Tanner Hudson off the free agent market if you just wanted to wait and see, right? Which they've done hopefully at other positions. And we'll see more veterans kind of get calls now. But yeah, again, nothing wrong with the players. I like the players. I like the potential that you get from a late round pick. But again, it's just the strategy here on day 3 was just a little all over the place for me.